Good morning, guys and gals on Facebook. This is Comixstravaganza Live, and we are coming to you live from Heroes Wanted Comics and Collectibles in Gallatin. And I am your host for Comixstravaganza, the comic book loving, time traveling prophet of pop culture, the voice of diesel punk, the artist also known as the Bamboozleist, Big Daddy Cool. You can call me Johnny. And on this episode, I am without my lovely co-host, Callie L. She is under the weather this morning, and so she will not be joining us. She texted me with a vomit emoji. I'm sick. Oh, no. Stay away from me. So I'm flying solo this morning. I guess you could say it's me and Jet Jaguar. But lots of cool stuff happening this week. We're going to review my comic picks for the week that you can get right here at Heroes Wanted. This is the world's greatest comic book store. It says so right on the marquee. And so some cool things have been happening over the last week, some cool announcements. And if you didn't see, the Russo brothers came out and they said that Captain Marvel is actually stronger, more powerful than Thor. I don't know if I buy that or not. Definitely in Endgame, they kind of diminished Thor's power. And, because I was thinking about this, and it's playing on the TV here in the shop right now. If you didn't know, Endgame dropped on digital download on Tuesday of this week. And so we've got it playing right here. And so, when I was thinking about that this week, Thor that we met in Infinity War would have ended the final battle in Endgame by himself. But they depowered him because he was depressed and just not himself. And so, at the point that we see Captain Marvel and Thor together, I might say that yes, Captain Marvel was more powerful than Thor. But at the end of the day, is she really? Now, we know in the comics that she's not even close to his power level. But in the MCU, they've made Captain Marvel to be the most powerful hero in the MCU. But if that was the case, when she was given the gauntlet, she should have been able to make a straight shot right to the quantum realm inducer in the van, instead of having to weave in and out and have the other ladies of the MCU play be blockers for her. So, what do you guys think? Are the Russo brothers correct? I mean, they're the guys that directed the movie, but are they the authority? Are they the final authority? I don't know that they are. So I would love to hear what you guys think. You can post a comment below. Is Captain Marvel more powerful than Thor? Also, did you hear about this? The Big Show from the WWE is getting his own Netflix sitcom. He's basically playing himself, but a few years older, retired, with daughters, and so it's all going to be about the Big Show navigating married life and fatherhood and trying to fit this giant-sized personality into domestic Americana. If you didn't know, Paul White, who plays the Big Show, the Giant, is quite the comedic actor and a pretty good singer, too. If you remember, years ago, he and Dwayne Johnson were on Saturday Night Live together, The Rock, and they were hysterical together. And that's why he's getting the show. I'm going to give it a shot. What do you guys think about The Big Show getting his own sitcom? And finally, we've been talking about for years the possibility that Moon Knight could appear in the MCU. Fans want Moon Knight. Different showrunners and directors in the MCU want Moon Knight. They almost put Moon Knight in Iron Fist Season 2. They were that close to doing it with the introduction of Typhoid Mary and the whole idea of DID, dissociative identity disorder. But they, at the last minute, they decided not to do it. But now, the Russo brothers, we come back to the Russo brothers, I guess they are the end-all, be-all of the MCU authority. They think that Keanu Reeves would be perfect as Moon Knight. And look, anybody can be Moon Knight. It takes a special actor to play Mark Spector, Jake Lockley, Stephen Grant. And while I think he could be great, I agree. He would be great. He would be great. And they've been looking for a way to put Keanu Reeves into the MCU, trying to find the right role for him. And maybe Moon Knight is the right role. But let's think about this for a minute. Keanu Reeves is now in his 50s. By the time a Moon Knight movie gets made, or by the time they introduce him in one of the streaming shows, he's going to only be older. And I don't want to sound this way, but I think Keanu Reeves might be a little bit past the age for him to be Moon Knight. That's the feeling I get. He would be great, but I think he's just a little bit too old. Who would be a great Moon Knight? I'll tell you who would be great. And I base this off of him playing another role of a character with DID. And that is McAvoy. He played Professor X in the X-Men movies. He played the Beast in Split and Glass. James McAvoy would be awesome as Moon Knight because he can play Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, Jake Lockley. Just go watch Split, and you will see one of the most amazing performances of an actor I've ever seen. Not only does his voice and his manner change, his facial features change as he switches personalities. It was marvelous. It was phenomenal. Just unbelievable. Can I find another adjective, expletive, or, to describe James McAvoy? He was great. And he's got the physique, he's got the right age to be a great Moon Knight. That's my choice for Moon Knight in the MCU. Look, I get it. A lot of Keanu Reeves fans out there, and you guys want to see, the guy who plays John Wick, who has become a huge action-adventure star, find his place in the MCU. I just don't think Moon Knight is quite right for him because of his age. We need someone a little bit younger. Let me know what you think. Post a comment down below, or you can send us an email at comicstravaganza@BigDaddyCoolShows.com. All right, let's talk about new comics this week. We've got a couple of new number ones, and that's what we're going to talk about for the most part. But I want to just talk real quickly about the Avengers. We've been talking about the Avengers this morning. The Avengers comic book, Avengers number 22. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider, on the cover. This is legacy number 722. We get to see the return of Johnny Blaze in this issue. Now, we've not seen Johnny Blaze in maybe 2-3 years since the Doctor Strange Damnation limited series. And at the end of that limited series, you'll remember Johnny Blaze tricked Mephisto into giving up his position as the King of Hell. And Mephisto was imprisoned in a mystical prison in Las Vegas. And Johnny Blaze took over as the King of Hell. Now, we are led to believe by this cover that Johnny Blaze has succumbed to the evil as the King of Hell. I know that was a concern at the end of Doctor Strange Damnation. But we don't know that that's what's going on here. He appears on the last panel. Spoiler alert, this is a beautiful piece. And if you didn't know, Robbie Reyes, the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, is a member of the current team of Avengers. There's a couple of, I have mixed feelings about it. I'm not a big fan of Robbie Reyes, and especially the way he's being written by Jason Aaron in the Avengers. He's really kind of a, mamby-pamby kind of character, really wishy-washy, milquetoast kind of character. Here you have someone who has an all-powerful God spirit inside him, the spirit of vengeance. And he really can't perform or get things done, and now he wants to be exercised of the spirit of vengeance. And of course, Johnny Blaze brings him to hell and says, hey, that's not the way we do this here, kid. You can't get rid of the spirit of vengeance through an exorcism, but I'll give you a choice. I'll race you for it. I think that at the end of the day, we are going to see Johnny Blaze return as Ghost Rider. Now, will this Ghost Rider be a part of the Avengers? I don't know. For a long time, I really wanted Ghost Rider to be a part of the Avengers. There was an Avengers storyline back in the 80s that Roger Stern wrote where Ghost Rider and Angel, you remember they were partners from the Champions, had a storyline with the Avengers. And at that time, the Avengers were just Captain America, Thor, Tigra, and the Wasp. Just those four. And it looked like they might bring Ghost Rider into the fold. He's been, does he fit? I don't know. When you have characters like Dr. Voodoo and Iron Fist, who are mystical-based characters, and Blade, then maybe Ghost Rider fits. And a magic-based team of Avengers could be really cool. We'll have to wait and see. I understand why Ghost Rider is in the Avengers currently. The current book has Captain America, Iron Man, Thor. It has Blade, and big news on Blade from San Diego Comic-Con. There's a new movie coming out. And Ghost Rider has been part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So they're trying to bring in characters that are, kind of popular in the movies. The problem is they don't look anything like the characters that you see on screen. That's another thing we can talk about for another day. Where is this going to go with the Avengers? I'm not really sure. But if you're a Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider fan, you're going to be super happy. Look, this needs to be a poster. I want this as a poster hanging in my office. That's just awesome. That's a great, great shot by Sorelli. All right. Number ones for this week. I didn't pull every number one. I didn't read every number one that came out this week. I'm going to share with you the ones that I find the most interesting and that I can recommend. So the first one is Boston Metaphysical Society, issue number 1. Now you'll notice something really quickly. This has got like a super high gloss finish on it. It's almost a plastic finish. Super high. I like that. And this is by Source Point Press. I would really recommend you guys change the name of your company. That's hard to say. Source Point Press. It's written and created by Madeline Holly Rosing, and the artist is Emily Hugh. So the concept is really, really interesting here. There's a character named Hunter who is a ghost hunter. That's his name and his occupation. Strange, isn't it? And it all focuses around the Boston Metaphysical Society and their members. Alexander Graham Bell, Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, Harry Houdini. If you guys know me, you know I'm into alt history, steampunk, diesel punk, especially diesel punk. And this is alt history where we've gathered these people from history and society that had an impact on us throughout history, and we put them in the role of this metaphysical society where their job is to track down and to eliminate ghosts, not trap them, but to cause them to discorporate. This is an interesting book. Super high quality. The artwork is kind of a almost an anime style by Miss Who. There is a website dedicated just to the book, BostonMetaphysicalSociety.com. This has got all of the retro punk, alt history, buttons that get pushed here. You got alternative weapons, you got, air machines, you got a woman being in a position of authority where historically she would never have been in that position. And it's an interesting concept. I wasn't blown away by issue 1, but I was interested enough that I'll probably pick up issue 2 and give it a shot. So that is issue number 1, Boston Metaphysical Society. Now, the next 2 books that are on my hot list, and look, these are my picks of the week. They are both written by Colin Bunn. We'll start with this one first. Manor Black by Dark Horse Comics, written by Colin Bunn with art by Brian Hurt and Tyler Crook. This is a really, really beautiful art style. It's a very painterly art style. It's all watercolor artwork. And this is a story about a family of wizards. And there is the patriarch of the family, who is seen right here. He has to choose the successor. It's nearly his time to go on, and he's got to choose his successor. Well, there's this mystery flame that is consuming people, and this young girl appears being chased by demonic wizards, and our patriarch character saves her. And it kind of sets up this idea, because he has put her under his protection, and it's setting up the idea that in the next issue, she might be considered a rival to take over the family legacy. If you are into supernatural, retro supernatural, wizards and magic, this is a really great book. Listen, Colin Bunn is becoming my favorite comic book writer. It seems like everything I read by him is a home run out of the park. And this is no exception. This was a great story, great art, has me peaked. Look, the cover by itself. I mean, what a beautiful cover. Terrifying, but beautiful. Just fantastic. I cannot wait to read issue number 2. Now, I didn't even know that was coming out this week. I was shopping here at Heroes Wanted. I saw it on the stands. I saw that beautiful artwork. I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. Same thing happened with this other book, and this is my other hot pick of the week. This is Knight's Temporal. Again, written by Cullen Bunn, with art by Fran Gallatin. And this is about a knight of the First Crusades, one of the Knight Templars, who is thrust into modern contemporary society in a quest to track down this demon lord, this demon sorcerer, again, swords and sorcery in the modern world. His name is August, and he is accompanied by this otherworldly sprite, because when he passes through the dimensions, he meets this sprite character, and I don't even think that they ever give her a name. Oh, Jane Fool is her name. And she accompanies him even into the modern day. And what we find out is that even in the modern day, he's kind of a celebrity. He's been out fighting for the rights of other people, trying to track down this demon lord sorcerer, and people know who he is. The sword appears at his will and goes back to another dimension when he doesn't want it. And the wizard king, the sorcerer that they're trying to track down, looks remarkably similar to David Tennant. Both these books, both Manor Black and Knights Temporal, read like a movie script, like a movie storyboard. Look, if Hollywood producers out there are looking for the next big action adventure movies, right here, look at Cullen Bunn. He is producing some amazing work, and not just for Aftershock Comics or Dark Horse. He's done some great work for Marvel with the Monsters Unleashed, with IDW and Dark Horse. He wrote a great run on The Shadow. Just really spectacular stuff. And these are my top picks for the week. Knights Temporal, Manor Black. If you can't read anything else this week, pick those up. And you can get those here at Heroes Wanted Comics and Collectibles right here in Gallatin, Tennessee. That's it for me this week, guys. If you would like to be in our live audience, if you'd like to come join us live and contribute to the show, even maybe join us as a co-host, I'm not opposed. We got plenty of room. We could have a couple of co-hosts in here. If you'd like to do that, we'd love to see you. We film Thursdays at 10. Thursdays at 10. And we'll also be recording select episodes for our iTunes and Stitcher distribution for the podcast. But if you'd like to be a part of the studio audience or join us on camera, come on down, shoot us a note, Comixstravaganza at Big Daddy Cool Shows. And we have a Patreon, so we want you to help us contribute to our Patreon campaign so that we can be at more places, go do more things, and so that we can increase our production value. Patreon.com/Big Daddy Cool Shows. Check it out. And of course, check out Heroes Wanted Comics and Collectibles. They're on Facebook. They're online. Check them out and come on down and shop at the world's greatest comic book store. It says so right on the marquee. All right, guys and gals, that is it for this week's episode of Comixstravaganza. Hope you enjoyed it. Continue to comment. We'll answer you in the comments. And until the next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.